Well, good afternoon. My goodness, where has this week gone? Can you believe we're back to Wednesday again already? Seems mad, doesn't it? The weeks are just flying by. It's nearly school holidays. I was going to say Christmas holidays. It's nearly the summer holidays for all the kids. I can't believe it. Anyway, we are live again this week. Fingers crossed we survive our lives. At the moment, it's telling me we're connected on Facebook and we're connected on YouTube. So fingers crossed we are transmitting to both. That's a big word for me to say. Transmitting to both. Who knows? I'm having a bad hair day, so I desperately need my hair doing. So ignore the fact that my roots need doing. I've got another 2 weeks to go. And I forgot to tape my mat down. Hello, Tracy. So at least I know I'm on YouTube anyway. Don't know about anywhere else. So bear with me. Isn't it always the way when you try and do something in a hurry and quietly that it doesn't quite go to plan? Anyway, hopefully lots of you caught our TV show on Friday, Art with Create and Craft. Hello, Tina. So we're on both. Wahey! So we did our Christmas release, but obviously you'd seen it all if you've been following us on here. You had already seen them before. So I did mention on the TV that I was going to do one of the cards I made on our Facebook Live today, just because I'd already done kind of the working of the card beforehand. And I wanted to be able to share it with you so that you can see what we need to do. So we are going to, good afternoon, Kathy. Good afternoon, Tina. Oh, good afternoon, Veronica. My hair looks lovely, thanks, Tracy, but it's a disaster. Desperately needs doing. I haven't spoken to you all week, Veronica. What's going on? Right, so as I said, oh, I'm glad it's arrived safe and sound, Lynn. We are going to do one of the cards I did on TV. Hello from Australia, 11 o'clock that's 11 o'clock at night, isn't it? Yeah, must be. My goodness, you're staying up late for me, Patricia. I appreciate it. Thank you. So I'm going to get started. Let's have a look at what you're going to need. Everything is available. If I leave that on there and take that off for a sec. Everything that I'm using here is available on our Honeydew Crafts website. honeydewcrafts.co.uk or .com. Both will take you to the same place. So we'll get that out of the way so we can show you what we're doing. So in today's, we are going to be using Santa's Sleigh because for the sentiments. Good afternoon, Teresa. Hi, Sue. We are also going to be using holly ribbons, and we are going to be using white cardstock and our clear acetate, the 250 GSM, so it's slightly heavier weight. Hi, Catherine. We are also using our sticky glue that comes in the 2 sizes. We've got crystal clear embossing powder. We have gold embossing powder. I'm using the one without the glitter, but if you want to use it with glitter, you're more than welcome to. Hi, Di. Di has the most amazing hair. And then we've also got VersaFine Onyx Black and Versamark. We've got an anti-static bag, and we are using clean colour pens in mid green, which is 046, deep red, which is 260, yellow green 052, deep green 044, olive green 043, and red 020. You will also need watercolour cardstock, whatever you have of your own choice. We don't stock it at the moment because our supplier has stopped getting it for some unknown reason. A bit like everything else, I think the price of paper's hit the roof and it's just not economical for them to do it. So we are at present looking for somebody else, so bear with us, it will be coming. Hi, Carol. Now, those of you that have done our workshop will know about this card. Those of you that didn't make our workshop, then hopefully this will give you the instructions on how to work this card. But it's also for those that haven't attended the workshop, it gives you a little reminder about what you need and what you don't need. So I'm just going to clear these bits out of the way, then we can get started. Hi, Jan. Right. So let's get going. Look, Jan, I've had the nails done, you'll be pleased to know. So we're going to start by building the card base. So what do we need? we've got an 8x8 card. We've got a piece of watercolour cardstock. I've also got some heavyweight or construction acetate, and just some plain white card, and that'll make sense in a few minutes. Now, I am literally going to do this card from scratch because I want you to know of all the places that you can trip up on. And it makes it sound complicated, but those of you that have done it, once you know, you know. So, here comes the trusty trimmer. And we are going to start with the cardstock, our card, and the acetate. The watercolour cardstock is for stamping on. So, hi Shirley. Shirley is a friend of my mum's, and mine, who is over here actually. They're in mum's kitchen crafting. So we are taking our 8x8 card and we are putting the spine measurement up to 4 inches. And so the bit that's going to be left attached to your card is going to be 4 inches wide. I'm trying to do this so that it makes sense to people. This piece you've chopped off, you don't really need, but you could keep it as backup if you want to. There is your, so now your card should look like so. Now the reason I say make this piece 4 inches and not cut 4 inches off is because most 8x8 cards are not a true 8x8. If they're a true 8x8, that's fine. But what you need is 4 inches left here. You are then going to take some cardstock, and again I'm going to ask you to pop that inside your card and have a rough idea where you want to cut it. You need to cut it the same length as your card base, or the same as your card base, same width, sorry. So this is the spine of the card at the top here, and I'm going to just do this by eye, but if you want to measure it, feel free. That choice is yours. I'm going to take it out of that. This way, that's going to make my life a little bit easier. Then I can see where my edge of my card is. So everything is pushed up tight to the trimmer. And also by doing it like this, if your card base is there, if you cut it wrong, it's still all going to fit. And that's the important bit. So you've now got a piece that should be the same width. Should be the same width as your card base. You then need to cut a piece off this that is just under 4 inches. Again, this will make sense in a minute. So like 3 and 15/16, sort of that size. We're literally taking the tiniest bit off here. The reason for that is it's going to be tucked in here, hiding your workings. If it was exactly 4 inches, it sticks out past the end here once you put everything together. If it's slightly under, it hides your workings and everything is fine. And I've got a fluffy bit there. I need a new blade on my trimmer, I think. But we're just going to get rid of that fluffy piece. Just don't do fluffy. We don't need fluffy. So that's what that piece is for. So it doesn't matter if it's not exact, but it is to hide your workings. Now, this is the piece of card you're going to use. It looks like it's a square, but it's not quite a square. One side is slightly longer than the other. So remember, you need it to be the same width of your card. So that's the width of my card, that's the way it opens, that's the width of my card. I am going to cut 1/2 inch strips. To make my life easier, I'm going to take that to the nearest 1/2 inch. Now, loads of people said to me on the workshops, mine doesn't cut. I don't have a marking for a 1/2 inch. No, none of us have a marking for a 1/2 inch on your trimmers. But majority of the trimmers come, so you're going to cut off here. So this is your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There is no 1/2 inch in here. And I don't know of any trimmer that does have a 1/2 inch in there. There might be a few. But you can do it from this side because your 1/2 inches will fall off down here. So we're going to measure it here So I've cut it to 7. I took it down to 7.5, which gave me the right, easier measurement to cut. So we're now going to cut 12. I think you actually only need 11, but half-inch strips. I say 12 because it's just easier. Good afternoon, Debbie. Sorry I missed you there, and I think I missed Eileen as well. Thanks for my nails, Jan. They were in a right state. They don't like having this shellac stuff done now. But you'll be pleased to know it's going to be done for the next couple of weeks because I'm going to have it ready for holiday now. So I've lost count because I'm gossiping about my nails. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Again, you don't need that extra bit that's left. Pop it off to one side. You're all quite quiet on me today, aren't you? Not used to that. I'm used to getting heckled when I do stuff. Right, so that's all your white cardstock pieces done. You're then going to take that base card again, and you need to do the same thing as far as measuring with your acetate. I can keep it tucked inside on this one because in fact, I think I'll cut this way first. Hard buttered up, acetate buttered up. Acetate is level in there. And we're going to cut that off. And you're going to do the same on the side. So you want your acetate piece to be the same size as your card. Oh, Jan, that would be lovely. We are going to be at Doncaster this time, and I know you guys normally go to the Peterborough show that's been cancelled, don't you? So hopefully it would be really nice to see you all at Doncaster. Right, so that is our card now cut with... Catherine, you're all concentrating. Hopefully it's not that complicated. I'm trying to explain it so that you pick up all the bits that you can trip up on. I think I scared a few people on the workshop when we initially did this, but once you get in the swing of it, it completely makes sense. There are just a few pieces that you would trip up on if you didn't know about it. So now we're going to put this card together so that the base is done, and then we can get on to decorating it. And actually it's quite a quick, easy card to do once you know how to do it. So this is our heavier duty acetate. And we're going to leave that inside the card here. I'm going to pop some glue on the back here. And we are going to stick that down. Now, as I said to you before, that other piece is to hide the workings, because I don't know if you can see that, but you can see all the glue behind it. And it will remain to be seen. Even though the glue dries clear, you can still see that through the acetate. So that piece that you cut out that is just under the 4 inches, now bearing in mind these are just my measurements. If you want to do these as different measurements, if you don't want this top panel as big, or you want a bigger top panel and you don't want as many smaller panels, go for it. So that piece is just going to go in there, and it's going to hide those workings. Make sure you shut your card to make sure that that's going to sit where it was. See, Sarah, you were one that was scared, and I'm hoping you're doing it and using the tips and techniques we learnt at the workshop, Sarah. Oh, 65, Carol. Blooming heck, I wouldn't have given you 65. I hope I looked at that good at 65. Not that 65's old, don't get me wrong. But if you saw Carol, you'd know what I meant. So it would be all celebrating all round because it's Martin's birthday on the 16th. He's not 65, he's my toy boy. So you've got your acetate stuck in there. You're then going to take these strips, 1/2 inch strips that you cut. You're going to put one down and butt it up against the top. You're then going to take another piece and you are going to just pop a little bit of glue on the back. And as I say, some of this isn't the most exciting to watch, but I wanted to give you the whole make of this card so that you know what you're doing. And then you can take that first piece out because it's not stuck down. That's your next bit to give your next space. And the same again, you're going to take another strip and you're going to stick that down. It also helps you line everything up as well by popping that extra piece in the middle there. And you take that strip out and repeat again. Doncaster's not that far to get to either, is it, ladies? So from where our neck of the woods, there's a lot worse places to get to. And pop that one out. Now, the last piece, if you put that on there, is going to be shorter. So the choice is yours. You can make that smaller, or you can do as I do and just stick a piece on there. Kind of, I level it up with my bottom of my card. Because if somebody notices that that gap isn't quite as big as all the others, that's their problem and they're not getting a card from me next year. Then we are going to go inside and do exactly the same thing, just to make my life a little bit easier and a little bit quicker while I'm showing you this. Just going to pop some glue on there. It's not going to dry on there until we put something on there for quite some time, so you don't have to panic and rush to get that on there quickly. And you're just popping another one on the back just to hide that workings. I think that was quite Suffolk, wasn't it? Hide that workings, hide those workings. It's probably the correct way of saying it. Okay. Bearing in mind I have to do this sitting down to show you guys. So, and I never craft sitting down really. Right, so that's the base. We're now going to pop in our uprights. So exactly the same thing. Little bit of glue on the back. Now on the front, I take them right to the top of the card. Again, your choice. You don't have to go right to the top. If you would rather it stopped halfway down, stop it halfway down. I just quite like it going all the way up. Right. I do try and kind of eye them to be roughly the same sort of gap, but I don't measure it. If you want to measure it, please feel free to do so, if that puts your mind at rest. But roughly the same sort of width apart. We then also have our workings on the inside here, remember. So we are just going to hide this bit here again. And obviously you've got that piece that you've put in to hide your acetate workings from the first time. So hopefully, sorry, I'm just trying to get that in shot and hold it at the same time. I'm going to just cut that extra off. I think my beloved scissors are getting to their end of life, which breaks my heart. Now actually, if you're clever, that extra piece that you've just chopped off, if you cut it straight, should fit the other side. But if it doesn't, you've got an extra piece if you need to. Sally, I am so glad you've joined us, because this is something that you need to be watching, because I know I completely forgot until yesterday. I suddenly realised last night that I haven't sent you those bits through. They will be coming if I don't get them this week, because suddenly our week has just, plans have changed, it's gone mad. But I didn't actually, I was going to have to write all this down, but because you're here to watch, and I can now tell you there's a video to watch, I don't have to write it all down for you. So please, please, please watch this. And I'll let you be late because I'm late sending my stuff. So we are now at this point. So that's your card base done. So if you did watch TV on Friday, you would have seen that I said this was already made up and I would do it. So that you could see how to make it. So that is your card base made. Those of you that did the workshop, there's a little refresher, something to look back on. And those of you that didn't make it to our workshops, hopefully you'll enjoy making this if you get a chance to. So we are now going to go on to our watercolour. Now, I haven't cleaned my stamp. As you all know, I'm dreadful for cleaning my stamps. So just a little tip here. In fact, I haven't got a scrap piece, so we're going to have to do it onto my trusty piece of cardboard that I always use. Because I haven't cleaned my stamp and I want this to be proper black, I am going to go and ink it up once. And it's a bit of a waste and a bit of a waste of time, but it works for me. I'm not saying it will work for everybody, but it works for me. I'm just going to ink this onto a scrap bit of paper just because it gets the stamp moist, ready to go, but without the extra ink that I've added on the sides here. This is literally onto a scrap piece of paper. Debbie, I'm glad you joined us on Friday. You'll have seen this card already then, so you've now got a way to go back and look at it. So that just basically is priming my stamp after me being lazy for not doing it. Going on to watercolour card, because it's more textured, it also isn't always as easy to get a really crisp image on it. So give yourself a bit of a break if it isn't always as perfect as you want it to be. So lots and lots of light taps with the ink. And then we're going to stamp this out. It's a big stamp, so give it some time, but not too long because we need to get some embossing powder on there. Hopefully we've covered the whole thing. But as we're live, I'm sure you'll give me a bit of a break. So we've stamped that out. Oh, something went flying. I'm not sure what that was. We might have to rescue it in a minute. Crystal clear embossing powder over the top. It was actually, for those of you that did see it, I don't know what you think, it was actually quite nice to work back with Dink for a little while. So just a light tap, not too much pressure. If you want to, you are more than welcome to put an anti-static bag over the top of your watercolour card before you do that. I've tried to be brave and not. And again, you need to do this twice. So we'll do the second one just because no doubt this will be somebody's Christmas card. Oh, well, at least you'll be able to, you know how to make this again now, Debbie. And you can keep it because we do it live today and then it gets uploaded onto our website tomorrow so that you can go back and watch the videos. All of our videos are uploaded onto our website as well. So everything we've done since we started making these videos in lockdown is all available on our website. So again, lots and lots of pressure all over your stamp. I love making this card. And then your crystal clear embossing powder on the top. Once the powder is on the ink, don't panic about having to heat it. It's not going to go anywhere. As long as you don't knock that powder off, you're good. Wednesdays are a bit of chaos for us here, and I've been up since 4:30 this morning. It's mad. Tina, yes, he can talk. I'll give you that. And I always banned him from drinking coffee before he did a show with me, because if he's had coffee, he can talk a lot more. But it was quite nice to work back with him. So, like you all know, I heat this from underneath just because it gives me... Sally, at least you're here to be upset the fact that you missed the workshop. Hopefully you are completely better and on the mend, or at least on the mend. Right, so we're going to heat this from underneath. It will take a little bit longer to heat from underneath because it's watercolour cardstock, so it's a bit thicker. I'm very excited. I'm getting my eyes tested next week. I might actually get to see what I'm doing again. Yeah, I do ban him from coffee, Debbie. He is a talker, and he's a little bit hyperactive if he's had coffee. So I say no coffee before my show, Sting, thank you. He does know that I'm joking. In fact, he ate sushi before the show, so he wasn't going to drink coffee, was it? That wouldn't have gone very nicely. We have to have a meeting before our show with all the producers, the director, the presenters, me, the floor manager, etc., etc. And yeah, so we sat and ate sushi while we did that. The floor managers, the producer and director and floor managers were all eating chocolates, and I just sat and looked pretty. I'm trying to be good, got a holiday coming up, don't want to add any more than I'm already going to add. Right, so we've heat embossed that, and the reason I do that, it just makes it a little bit easier to colour in. Hello Lorraine from a hot Spain. We're not so hot. We have been really hot, which has been lovely, because you all know I do like the summer rather than the winter. But we're a bit chillier today. It's a bit grey, a bit overcast, and I think we've got this for about the next 10 days. Oh well. Anyway, so we're going to go in with the greens. So a little bit, I'm wondering if I should maybe try. I'm going to try and bring this camera in a little. Oh, wrong way. Try and bring the camera in a little bit, and you might be able to see me try and colour this in. It's not going to be the full size of it, but hopefully by doing that you might get to see. And if I pick the bigger leaves, I'm not going to colour them all in because I have had to prep this ahead of time. Right, so I'm going to go with the bigger leaf. So literally I take the darker colour down the middle, then in with the next colour over the top of that. You do need to have a scrap bit of kitchen paper beside you for this. And then I go in with the light colour. The light colour is the yellow green, and in circular motions I just go over the top of that other colours and pull those colours out. It just stops it being a completely flat colour. If you want it all one colour, you're more than welcome to just colour it all one colour, and you wouldn't need watercolour cardstock if you were doing that. But I quite like to have a little bit of a different colour in there. So let me know, can you all see that, or does it make it more difficult because it's too close? So a little bit of the dark colour, then a little bit of the lighter green, but still quite dark, and then the lightest green over the top. And it's not as obvious until it dries about the difference in the colours. Debbie, they are the clean colour watercolour, clean colour real brush pens. So you can see that, that's good. Right, as I said, remember to go in and blot, because this goes a long way. Because we have already embossed it, wherever that pen is sitting on that embossing, it will resist it, so you are bound to smudge it. So please remember, go in, give them a little blot as you're going along, particularly red. The red is a bit like, I don't know if you've heard me say, the mustard seed in the Distress Oxides, it goes on forever. Well, these red pens do exactly that. So with the red, I'm just going in with the darker red in the centres of these berries, and then with the brighter red I'm just going to go around the edge, try and avoid that little bit in the middle and leave it white. Don't do what I just did and colour over the top of it, but that's just because I'm on this and I can. It doesn't matter if you do colour over it, it just pops a little bit better if you don't. You can always just pop in some gems on there if you would rather. As I said, I'm not going to go in and colour the whole thing because I have already done it, but that's just those two little dots there is how much I've blotted off that. So that's what I mean, the red goes a really long way. Is that how are we doing? So you can see there's a little bit of a variation in the leaves, but it doesn't have to be really, really different. And if, as I say, you're not confident doing it like that, you haven't got watercolour cards, you want to do it on a normal colour card, just colour it how you're happy with. This is your card. Now, this is the bit that most of you are going to go, oh, do I have to? No, you don't have to do anything. These are your cards. But I went in and I fussy cut both of these. Now, I fussy cut one and cut it up as well, just because I could. So that is these two pieces cut out. Now I think gonna have to bring the screen back out, but we'll try to see if we can do this. There are different ways of doing this. You can stick this on here first and then pop your sentiment in. See, I'm gonna have to work too far away. No, we need to come out a bit, don't we? Slowly, slowly, slowly. Here we go. There, I think we're about right there. So you can stick these on first and then pop your sentiment, or you can do your sentiment first and then pop these on. Again, it's up to you, it's your card. You've just got to kind of work out, if you're going to do your sentiment first, where you want that to be before you pop these pieces on. And just because you've cut these pieces out in that particular shape doesn't mean they have to stay in that shape. So if you don't want all of these little twiddly bits on here, you can cut them off. I'm thinking we might go something like that. I think I'm going to stick mine down first, just because that's how I think I need to do it. So you're going to go in and just pop a little bit of glue on the back. Now, I've talked all the way through about hiding your workings. On this one, this part of it, you can't really hide your workings. If you don't put enough glue on here, it's not going to stick. You can't work out exactly where every single piece is going to land to work out where your glue is going to go. So give yourself a break, as I say, and if somebody comments that they can see the glue at the back, which I doubt they will, but somebody might, don't send them a card next year. So I'm going to pop this down. Just need to twist it slightly to get that on there. I might regret having done that little slight twist, because I think that's right where my sentiment was going to go. Oh well, we'll find somewhere to put it, won't we? And just need a little bit of glue on the end here. You might have to go in and just stick a few of the pieces down as you're going, because I didn't do all the twiddly little bits. Some will stick up, some won't. And the beauty of this is it does dry clear, so if some of it does come out from underneath, it doesn't matter. I won't tell anybody if you don't. See, look, you've all gone as quiet as me now. All I'm doing is sticking a piece of paper down, but the concentration it takes, my goodness, that piece doesn't want to stick, but I'm bigger than it, and it will. As you can see, I did cut out all the twiddly little pieces, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I think I'm going to put my sentiment on before I stick the other piece of holly up there, because I might have to make that piece of holly a little bit smaller. So I am using 'Tis the Season from the Santa Sleigh. We're going to pop that at the top there. I'm going to use Versamark ink for that. It isn't the easiest, Jackie, I'll agree. It's not the easiest to cut out. It did take me a little bit of time, but this is just an idea. Of an idea of what you could do with it. If you didn't want to fussy cut the whole thing, you could quite happily just go around the edges of it. So I'm going to have to bring this down a little bit, ladies and gents. I need to get that as level as I can do it. I've made the commitment now, that's where it's going. Debbie, that's naughty, but nice. I love these pens. Right, there's that piece of cardstock. So I'm going to pop some gold on here. If you wanted to, you could quite happily do this in black. I know a lot of people don't like black, so I thought I would mix it up a little bit and pop some gold on there as well. I'm just going to pop those to one side until we've got this sentiment done. And I'm going to quickly blast this one. In fact, I am going to do this from above, otherwise we'll be here forever today, because that's through the acetate and through 3 pieces of cardstock. So just to be on the quick side, I'm just doing that from above. It might take too long to go through that. Yes, Anne, we did show you how to make this card. It will be, you'll be able to go back and watch it. If you want to go onto the YouTube channel to watch it, you will see it live today. If not, it will be uploaded onto our website tomorrow. But the YouTube channel, you just go Honeydew Crafts, go onto YouTube and type in Honeydew Crafts. Then you'll get taken to our YouTube channel and go to the live section of the channel. If you are following us on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to us as well, because that way you'll get the notifications when we're doing weird and wonderful things as well. Right, so can't remember where I think I was putting all of these. I think I quite like it that way round. Yeah, we'll go with that, I think. I go really quiet, don't I, when I'm sticking glue on things. Must be my switch off point. Or the fact that I've been on the go since 4:30 this morning. I think that should be enough to hold this one. Oh, Teresa, that would be nice. I didn't have time to cut out that many, but you could quite happily do it like that, couldn't you? So I'm going to put that there and commit myself. That's where that piece is going, whether I wanted it to or not. And then the final one on the top here. I'm catching myself. Do you know, the road outside our place has been really quiet all afternoon. Why does that happen as soon as we go on Facebook Live? There's somebody on a motorbike going up and down like a yo-yo. Madness. There we go. And then I think we can manage to squeeze this in here, but I am going to take it down a little on the length. Don't know if that squiggly piece is going to stay or if that squiggly piece is going to go. Squiggly piece is going to go. Yep, we'll go there. Pop that a little bit of glue on all of those pieces. Give that little quirly piece a little bit extra. So that's the front of our card done. Nice and simple. See, it isn't a difficult card. You don't have to use something as intricate as the holly ribbons to make your card. But I think it's a really nice Christmas card to get. We could even emboss this in gold as well if you wanted to. Now, what do I always say? Don't forget the inside of your card. One little thing I would say with this card, and this is what I mentioned on our workshop, put your sentiment up the top, because you will lose the illusion of your card if you don't pop the sentiment on the top. So it hides underneath this panel up here. So again, I'm going to use the Versamark ink. You have literally seen me do this from start to finish, apart from a little bit of colouring and obviously the cutting out. You wouldn't want to watch me cut out for that. They don't happen quickly to cut them out quite that intricately, unless you're super fast at cutting out, in which case you could do it really quickly. I am going to put the powder on this first because it isn't a very thick font, so it can dry out a bit quicker than you probably would want it to. I had a fingerprint on there. That's my own fault. I think we got most of it off. So we've got our sentiment on, and remember I always say to carry that design through. So I've just picked a slightly different holly leaf, and because obviously my card base isn't watercolour, I'm just going to do it in gold and just pop it on this bottom, oh, no, on the top corner, not the bottom corner. What did I just say? Don't put it on the bottom. No problem, Sally. Lovely to see you. Good to see that you're up and about again. I'll get this sorted for you. If I don't manage it this week, you will definitely have them next week, I promise. And just a little heads up, if you're still here, Sally, next week's will probably help you as well. If not, have a lovely afternoon. So, I have a couple of fingerprints in there. It's very unattractive, but you'll know what I mean. Happens to us all. So we're going to heat this one. Again, I'm just going to do it from the top just to be quick for this one. I very rarely heat from the top, so it feels really weird. But this card base is particularly thick just because it is, not for any reason. Just they are. I like to heat from underneath because it does give you a smoother finish. That is personal choice. Lovely, Sally. I'm glad you caught the message. Right, so we've popped our little sentiment in there as well. And that is our finished card. The card base right from the beginning. Yeah, it should actually fit quite nice on a 5x7, which is roughly an A5, isn't it? So yeah, I mean, that was me stamping it out onto an A5. So yeah, I think it would work quite well. If you could do it exactly the same thing. It'll be lovely to see you, Candice. Right, so that is us finished. And my new craft mat looks all posh and clean and tidy, and I haven't ruined it yet. So let's quickly run back over look where I heated it. I've twisted it, I shouldn't have done it, holding it down like I did. So let's run through quickly what we used. Oh, it's a long way down where I put these. I can just see me dropping it all, that's why what I'm thinking here. This could get messy. So obviously you've got your 8x8 card base. Thank you, Gay. Thank you, Carol. So we've got 8x8 card bases, but whatever size card you want to work with, this will work. Just adjust your measurements. So you need some more white cardstock. You need the stronger construction weight. I'm still... Oh, wrong way. I'll get the hang of this soon. I'm still on a close-up, aren't I? So you can't see what I'm showing you. Apart from all my mess now, look. So you've got the A4 clear acetate 250 GSM ours, but it's a sort of a construction-ish type weight. We used holly ribbons, and the sentiments were from Santa's Sleigh. We've used Versamark and VersaFine inks. So the VersaFine is the black onyx and Versamark is obviously the clear embossing. We've used gold embossing powder and crystal clear embossing powder. We have also used our sticky glue in the 2 sizes. An anti-static bag if you want to. See you on Sunday. It'll be nice to see you, Kathy. Hope that foot's doing you well and you'll be able to get out and about. And then the clean colour pens we also used as well. Let me get rid of this piece of cardstock that's lying around. Get my ink out of my picture. And the colours we used were deep red, which is 260, red, which is 020, deep green, which is 044, yellow green, which is 053, mid green 046, and olive green 043. So they are our colours, and this is our finished card. So that is me finished. We pop that up there. Everything is available over on our website, so please feel free to pop over there. If you are overseas, we do have a .com as well. It is still in English pounds, but if you need some help with conversion, fabulously computers can do that for us. Or give me a shout and I'll see what I can do. What else do I need to tell you? So we are at Newbury this weekend on Sunday, Stamporama, from 9:30 for advanced ticket holders, 10 o'clock on the door for everybody else. And finishes at 4, I believe. Then the following weekend we are at the Motorcycle Museum for the Excalibur Papercraft Show. And that is on the Saturday, and that again is 10 till 3. And then the weekend after that we are at the Doncaster Racecourse, which you've heard me talking about through this one. Quite a lot of you seem to be joining us at that one. Thank you, everybody. Teresa, make sure you post in the group if you have a go at making it. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, Veronica. You maybe shouldn't have been watching that. That might have been your Christmas card. Yes, so the following week we're at Doncaster Racecourse for Crafting Live, which is the Saturday and Sunday, which I believe is the 15th and 16th, 14th and 15th, I think. Anyway, that's us done for today. Next week may have to be a pre-record. I will preempt that if that is going to be the case. So don't panic if I don't come live. I will let you know via Facebook, etc., whether we're going to be doing live or not. Next Wednesday is chaos, so I've got to try and fit it in and work something out to be able to do it. But hopefully we will either see you live or a pre-record for next week's card. Have a lovely week, everybody. Hopefully the weather clears up for us. Those of you in Spain, enjoy your hot weather. Elizabeth, we will see you next week. Take care. Have a lovely... we'll see you next weekend. Newbury, Sunday. Have a lovely week. See you again soon. Take care. Bye.